you must have watched that video where they talked about, or Isaac sir talked about CAP, the approach and overall how we are going to do. How is it different from a normal current affairs revision module? Have you, everyone? Yes. So the basic idea behind CAP is, like he said, going beyond current affairs or going beyond a news item and understanding what can be asked from that particular topic. And this is not like we expect something from UPSC, like they will ask this in a particular way. But when we first introduced CAP in 2016-17, at that time, so many questions were being asked by UPSC from some unknown sources, so-called alien questions they are called. Alien question means some certain things you know. For example, DPSP, there was a question, which among the following is a Gandhian principle, Gandhian directive principle. Then you know where it came from. You know that it is in part 4. If you have read Lakshmikant, then you will be easily able to identify. Means not just by reading once, but you have to repeatedly, yes. Or maybe they will ask about the terms in preamble. That also you know in Lakshmikant or maybe DD Basu or any other textbook. Even NCERT explains those words. So they are very friendly. If you have covered, what is expected out of you is to cover some basic text. There, UPSC is not expecting you to read any particular book, but you have to cover. You should have a basic understanding. But post 2013, in prelims we are seeing a section of questions where they will be asking two types of questions are there other than the first type. This is directly from the conventional topics. Second type of question, suppose there is a new species of tree, plant species found in Andaman. They will ask about this. You know that it was in news, or maybe a butterfly was declared as the state butterfly of Maharashtra. They will ask about that. Directly from news, they asked about a particular species of camel, a type of camel seen in Kutch, Gujarat. In environment, you will solve those questions. Where was it? It was in news, Kharai camel, Kharai. It was in news, it was published widely. So, no problem. You can, if you have read those news items or you have revised, made notes, then you can answer, otherwise no problem. Still you know, yes, it was directly from current affairs. There is a third type, and this is the most problematic question, type of question. They will take some news from current affairs and they will be asking about conventional area, and that conventional area usually they don't ask. Say for example, chief secretary, there was a question about chief secretary, or cabinet secretary, they have asked question. These are all polity related. Why they were asked? Because in some state there was a dispute between state government and a particular person, IAS officer. He was removed from the post of chief secretary and he went to Supreme Court, and then that case was in news. But what they asked was, who appoints chief secretary? They said the governor appoints chief secretary, and chief secretary cannot be removed until he completes 2 years. Means he has a security of tenure for 2 years, something like that they asked. 2 statements were given, 1 only, 2 only, like that. So usually in Lakshmikant, have you ever read about chief secretary? There is no chapter like that. Cabinet secretary, chief secretary, these things now some textbooks have included this week after UPSC asked a question. Similarly, Lok Sabha secretariat, some peripheral, or we can say fringe area, not peripheral, fringe areas, border areas are there where you never study those things. Even if it is there in the books, you usually don't study, but some current affairs inspired UPSC, to ask those questions. So how to tackle this? This is, in polity it is still easier, but in environment, in science and technology, this year they asked about some Isaac discussed that the particular question. They went really deep into medical science. So should we study everything, including gene editing, and how far we should go? That is a big problem for aspirants. That is why in current affairs plus, whatever they have been asking in the past few years, based on that we devised a program, and this was helpful during the last 3 to 4 years when students come back and tell us that yes, this was very much useful. Even if you read, attend the classes as well as, will be given material and slides. Even if you follow those things regularly or thoroughly, that will be enough. This current affairs is a big headache, even though some of you must have been making notes for the last 10 to 12 months. But some of us, that when classes started, it is not easy to follow newspapers also. So this tension about current affairs and whether we will be able to cover all the current affairs for all the syllabus, all the topics in the syllabus or all the subjects, that will be to some extent, let's address that. That is why we call it as plus current affairs plus, means we will be going 1 or 2 steps ahead, and in that journey we will be covering or revising the conventional areas also. So it will be like a double revision. Okay. Now for polity, yes, so many topics. If you see, usually UPSC says if examination is on 26 June, we can expect questions, if you think backwards, this is the date of examination. So D minus 1 year, usually they say, means June 2020 onwards till maybe April they can ask questions. But some questions have been, recently if you see 2019 or 18, 2020 paper, prelims paper, they even asked questions about, yes, more than 1 year, or we can say up to 1.5 years they have, or we can say in other words 18 months current affairs have been asked. In some subjects it is like that, some current affairs very recent, especially if it is in June or last year I think it was in May. So they asked questions, max majority of current affairs questions from December, January and November, those 3 or 4 months. So we cannot take a chance, that is why in CAP we will be covering 18 months current affairs. So obviously there will be so many topics. Now in polity specifically, if you look at whatever, based on whatever they have been asking from current affairs as well as current affairs inspired. In polity, all those acts and policies in news, this is the first area and maximum number of questions have been asked from this area. So that itself is a huge category, because we know hundreds of acts have been passed in the last not hundreds of news items were in, news items we have seen about acts. Many of them will be about the same farm laws, some of them will be about the labor code, we will see what all acts were in news. Some policies are also there, for example new education policy. Sometimes they will issue new plastic rules, solid waste management rules. So many policies and acts are in news. So how to pick, it will, who will tell us? Again UPSC previous year questions. Suppose they issued or they passed a law specifically about some area, say for example, administering a particular tribal area, they usually don't ask such specific questions. Some acts will be passed regarding some states, they usually don't ask about those acts or even the procedure. But generally, when some acts, will come to examples, then you will understand, there are many important areas and many acts that were in news. Can you tell me some examples of important acts that were regularly in news in the last 1 year? CAA was very good. CAA was in news. Similarly, farm laws. Yes. So how far we should know these laws? Should we dig deep into all the provisions, and that is what we have to see. And see, CAP is nothing but it is an attempt to effort to make your this job easier. Similarly, acts and policies, they have asked maximum number of questions from current affairs, I am saying. Otherwise, they will ask from conventional areas, simply about preamble or DPSP, we have seen in 2020 also. Secondly, terms and procedures related to parliament and state legislature. This is another area where current affairs questions are asked in polity. Thirdly, some details of federalism, usually some bodies like interstate council also, we have discussed in the morning, or some terminologies, or interstate, federalism has two things. We have already studied about center-state relations, 3 heads. Interstate relations also, some developments based on that, they will ask questions from conventional areas. We will come to questions, then we will understand. Then judiciary is very important. And whatever they ask about judiciary from current affairs is basically some judgments will be there. And especially when that judgment was so much in news. For example, right to privacy. Or another case was there when a Kerala woman wanted to marry a person, but her parents did not like that person. Then she went to the Supreme Court or her husband went to the Supreme Court, filed a habeas corpus to get her back from parents' custody. So that case was very much in news. It was talked about. In that case, Supreme Court had said that right to marry somebody of one's choice is a fundamental right. Supreme Court said that, and UPSC asked it is part of which fundamental right. So usually all judgments that are related to any of the fundamental rights, 100% they have asked, very surprisingly also, because people will say that yes, this will come, and usually UPSC never asks such questions. But here, right to privacy, it was asked, even though not the same year, but sometimes they take time, and that right to marry a person of one choice. So what I am saying is, important judgments, especially when it is related to not only fundamental rights, but any rights for that matter. Okay, right related issues, that is important. Then recently Supreme Court, we will come to that. When we were discussing fundamental rights, we saw that right to internet was recently declared as one of part of Article 19, right to expression. So such things, there is a probability because they have done that in the past. Then concepts and important provisions. Concepts, by concepts I mean these words in preamble. Okay, which of the following is part of philosophical, or they will ask, like we solved a question yesterday, Dr. Ambedkar called a particular part as novel features. Which is that part? Or they will say, which among the following is heart and soul? These are opinions given by some people. Heart and soul, even though I don't know what's the problem with my, yes, heart and soul of the Constitution. Article 32. Such commentary, such concepts, what happened? Okay, yes, heart and soul. Such commentaries and all, they usually ask. Any problem? Okay, there is something going on underneath, right? Anyway, now, similarly, concepts, whatever you are studying, like I told you, sometimes they pick this introductory paragraph from some textbook, including Lakshmikant, and they will ask what is the relationship between rights and duties in the Indian context. What is the, last year they asked, which among the following is a feature of parliamentary system or not a feature of parliamentary system. That is why that is the kind of questions we solve in our daily practice also. Means parliamentary system, is there double membership, is there separation of, such things we have to. So don't worry, we will do. Then obviously constitutional, statutory and regulatory bodies. This they keep on asking. And that some bodies come under economics also, Indian economy, so they obviously you will be covering that there, RBI for example. Constitutional bodies, usually election commission, finance commission, we have to be prepared. Statutory body, even in mains they asked about NCW or NHRC they will ask. So in prelims, whatever, and these bodies were there in the last 1 year, so much in news that we can expect in prelims this year, prelims also. Similarly, all those news items related to elections. This is an election year. So far there were so many news items related to postal ballot. Have you heard? Postal ballot for NRIs. So these are running news items and we should expect some questions from these areas. And usually this is broadly, and we are going to cover topics based on this classification only. So let us begin with acts and policies. I will briefly introduce you to those topics that are, you don't have to write these things because we will be sharing these slides with you, okay, as part of CAP program, otherwise also we share. But still if you want to make a note, yes, this is a crude list of topics in the last 18 months, okay. So we will be picking important ones, we will be clubbing them together, we will be making in table format and all, we have to, that is what CAP, in CAP we have to do that, comparing, contrasting bodies and this and that. So let's see, 3 farm laws in the last 1 year, if you see, these were the most controversial, and because of that controversy, it was in news. So we have to see briefly what are these acts, we will do that. And we have to understand the basics. Beyond that, what we have to know is also, agriculture is in which list, that was also a controversy. So UPSC will not ask about under this, consider the following statement about this act, and they will not use statement, not necessary. They will only talk about subject matters in the 7th schedule they can ask. That is what we have to. So 1 or 2 steps further, other than just the current affairs or the context. That we will do when we cover these acts. Now, other than the 3 agriculture, farm laws, there were 4 industrial laws. And last year's prelims, or we can say in last year's CAP, we covered this one because at that time these 3 laws were still pending in the parliament. Now all of them are out. Don't confuse this thing. Codes means nothing but they are all parliamentary laws. Okay, they are labor laws. Earlier there were about 44 labor laws in India. They talked about, some talked about wages, minimum wage, this and that. Some talked about, what all pension, social security is there for laborers. Some talked about industrial relations, means, yes, the relation between management and workers. Also occupational safety, these things. Now, they are all, instead of 44, there are 4 laws or 4 codes rather, not laws. All the provisions, they deleted so many provisions that were conflicting and they just made it into, just remember, out of all the newspapers, we are making notes, a few pages like that, they have done. And this is very important because it will lead to ease of doing business and that is the aim. But they were, especially this industrial relations and social security code, they were recently in news so much. So, we need to know about code on wages also. And this one is not that simple. So, among the 4, we have to see the major idea, things. Then comes a number of laws regarding, this is out of last 18 months, right? I have made a list and I have amalgamated together, I have clubbed together. So, these laws were related to Jammu and Kashmir, all of them. First, Article 370 was repealed. Then, Jammu and Kashmir reorganization, means, special status was taken away. Then, that state was bifurcated into 2. Then, slowly, other reforms were made. And we have to know about the basic. Simply, they can ask you, consider the following statements about J&K Roshni Act. What is the original name of Roshni Act? Usually we call children by the pet name. Similarly, Roshni is a pet name and the original name is Jammu and Kashmir State Land Vesting of Ownership to the Occupants Act. Okay, Roshni is a better word. So, this Roshni Act is related to who can own property in Jammu and Kashmir. Earlier, only residents of that state were allowed. Now, everybody can after the special status was revoked. So, we have to know the basics about. Then, there was a word, have you heard of this Gupkar Declaration? What is it related to? What is it actually? Yes, we can say major regional parties or major state parties of J&K, they wanted to, or all of them together formed a coalition, a group, okay, and they made a declaration saying that, yes, please restore Article 35A and Article 370 also. What was Article 35A? Yes, it restricted, it was part of our constitution. Under this article, only residents of J&K were allowed to own properties in the state. Now, after both these articles were deleted from the constitution, now the problem is anybody can own land. Even I can go and buy land in Jammu and Kashmir. So, what is the problem then? The problem is, yes, people do not want that. People are afraid that they want to continue with the previous settlement or setup where only residents can buy. They are afraid that now people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, everybody will go there, settle down. It will affect the demography of the state. So, then again we can ask, then what is the problem? Even in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, people can come from any state including J&K and they can buy. So, what is the problem and what is Gupkar Declaration, what is the present status, we have to know, we will do that. Along with that, we will cover other things. We know that Jammu and Kashmir was under restrictions and internet lockdown, shutdown was there. Only recently it was lifted after more than a year. So, everything related to J&K we have to know. Then, so many other acts were in news. I will not go one by one, but because that is what we are going to do in class. There was a new, lot of news about this particular, even though it was passed in 2016. Yes, Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. So many debates are going on about why and how we have to see that. So, you will be surprised to see, yes, Will UPSC ask about these old acts, for example 1956 Act or 2016? The answer is yes, they will. They will, and they have. They have asked about an old Forest Rights Act which was like 2006, I think it was passed. Similarly, yes, 2006 Act. They asked about this act in 2017 because it was in news. Okay, there was attempts to amend that act. Similarly, they even asked about a 1980 Act in 2018 or 19. Why? Because it was in news. So that is why it is important to make the list of all the acts that were very much in news. And trust me, when I made this list, I also excluded a number of acts. So many acts are in news, old acts, this and that. But at least we have to know about the key provisions of. Yes, we can skip some of the acts also, but this one again very important. Have you read about this Forest Dwellers Rights Act 2006? What is it about? Okay. Yes. Who? Yes, yes. Dwellers of the forest. It talks about those dwellers, usually scheduled tribe population. They can, it is not illegal for them, or they have the right to collect minor forest produce like honey and this and that, and they can use it for their own survival. Because, as per the Forest Rights Act and also this Environment Protection Act and other acts, there are restrictions. I cannot go to a forest and cut a tree for my home. It will be punished. But dwellers of the forest or traditional forest dwellers, they should be allowed to collect and utilize the resources, because that is what they have been doing. Now Parliament and state legislature, the entire polity came later. We cannot suddenly tell forest dwellers that you come out of forest and you can buy honey from the market. Like that we cannot say. So that will be foolish. So this act is a very, very important act when it comes to inclusive society also, and also social justice in a way, and definitely this is so much in news. Then another important act, RTI, this has completed 15 years. So that means it came in which year, 2005, and in 2020 it completed 15 years. And two more important developments were there. A new Chief Information Commissioner was appointed. Plus, Centre has now amended the original RTI Act. Yesterday we saw. They are trying to, control how much salary these people will get, the members of, including Chief Information Commissioner. So, can we say that? And it became a huge controversy. Have you read articles about that? So many articles were published. No problem. Huh? Yes. There was a question about this. Yes. Will it affect independence and all? So for prelims also we'll cover that in class, don't worry. Then FCRA rules. What is FCRA rules? Yes, it was in news again because FCRA Act came in 2010, but FCRA rules means some organization, associations and individuals in India, they are getting foreign funding, foreign contribution. Some of them are NGOs, some of them are religious organizations. Now, there are some restrictions. They have to declare certain details to the Government of India, especially, yes, Ministry of Home Affairs. Why? Because whatever money they are getting, where they are spending that money, and to ensure that that money is not spent for anti-national activity. Anti-national as in, sometimes NGOs speak against some projects, some developmental projects. So government wants to have a clear idea, and in order to bring some transparency also, FCRA rules were brought in, and this was recently in news. So they will simply give two statements. If you know it, you can easily solve the objective, what was the objective and what is the new change, recent change. But if you don't know it, it will be very difficult to eliminate. That is why we will cover. So similarly, have you heard of this particular debate? Minimum age for marriage. For girls, now it is 18, and government wants to change or increase it to 21, at par with boys, to make it at par with boys or men. Why is this differential age, minimum age of marriage for girls and boys? That is a question. So it was in news. Similarly, new education policy we have to see. IPC, CRPC, usually UPSC don't ask questions from that, but it was very much in news in the context of sedition. Okay, so many places, hate speech also it was in news. Then we saw in fundamental rights that anti-conversion laws. Yes, because they were passed by state legislature, they will not ask question from that. But what they can ask is about, yes, right to conscience. They can ask about fundamental right to, to propagate, profess and practice religion. Also other matters related to secularism they can ask. Provisions related to secularism in the constitution. Generally also, specifically also they can ask. Similarly, now Anti-Cow Slaughter Act has been passed. So they might ask about, or they may ask about constitutional provisions, not the particular, they will not ask which state passed Anti-Cow Slaughter bill. So that is why we have to. Then PM Cares Fund and other matters related to transparency, and there is this new body being established. So basically, so many acts, that is not all, it is a long list. Have you heard of UAPA? Yes, obviously we saw that it provides for preventive detention. So all constitutional provisions and protections related to detention, arrest, we have to see. Along with that, important changes made to the UAPA recently, because they ask about the changes, and they have asked in 2017 and 18, these old acts, they were amended and they asked about recently changed provisions. UPSC will ask, no problem, we will cover, don't worry. And during COVID Epidemic Disease Act, even in mains they asked a question about that. Also National Security Act, another preventive detention law, they are somehow related. Then IT Act, so many times in news, yes or no? Yes, banning Chinese apps in that context. Recently that toolkit case, 69A, section 69A of IT Act, again it was in news. So Information Technology Act, Parliament passed it, and what are the important provisions? Only major provisions we have to know. Then comes federalism. Federalism does not come that much in prelims, and especially current affairs, so many things were there that is important for mains. In prelims, they can ask about certain disputes like Krishna Godavari water dispute is happening again, and again it is in news. About Kaveri they asked multiple times in prelims and mains in the past. So similarly, Assam, Mizoram is having a boundary dispute. AP and Odisha is also. So basically, we have to see these disputes, and broadly, maybe geography based questions also they will ask. Similarly, NK Singh. Who is NK Singh? 15th Finance Commission Chairman. He recently said 7th schedule, it is time to change 7th schedule or amend 7th schedule. He said some matters can be moved from state list to concurrent list in national interest. He said that. So when he said that, obviously there was a lot of, there were so many chief ministers who, so many news items, and 2 chief ministers majorly, especially Mamata Banerjee, she said, no, we will not allow that and don't dare to do that. Like that she said. So article, any idea what is article 131? Yes, when states disagree with center, they can move to the Supreme Court. That is article 131. So these things we will cover. Then related to legislature, about parliamentary committees. Have you studied this for test series? Yes, you might have. We have to see what are various kinds of parliamentary committees. Standing committees are there, ad hoc committees are there. Similarly, you must have read about joint committees and select committees. Then department related standing committees also. Very simple details, but if you don't know it, then they will ask questions, you will be trapped. Similarly, all the important offices, office of speaker, what is the term, what are the conditions, etc. Who can remove? Simple questions they will ask, but we have to know. Similarly, question hour and 0 hour. Do you know the difference? What is the difference? What that is? Question hour or 0 hour? 0 hour. Which one is the first hour of every parliament? No, every session. Question hour. Then 0 hour. Yeah, like that. Similarly, so many other words. So many other words like adjournment motion. Okay. Also calling attention motion. Calling attention is not important, but adjournment. Then non-confidence motion. Huh? No, they are different. Adjournment is more of a serious kind of. Aim is same. Okay, even if the opposition brings in adjournment motion, even if it is calling attention motion, the idea is to get attention of the government to some issues. But specifically using a table, we will compare and contrast all the motions, and after you read whatever from whatever sources, if you have that table, so just before exams it will be very easy to cover. And the same things we will cover in parliament also, so it will be easier. Now, recently about legislative council, some news items further. We know that only how many states? 6 states have legislative council, second chamber in the state legislature, and now Telangana wants to get rid of their legislative council. Now Telangana is one of the states. Telangana says we don't want this extra burden financially. AP, not Telangana, sorry, yes, AP. AP has decided to get rid. So what is the procedure and everything we have to know. Private members bill, some efforts were recently, some private member bill related news were in, yes, we have seen that, so we have to know. Similarly, executive related, especially cabinet committees. During COVID-19, this kept coming in news. Also, in some states, the state governments wanted to call assembly sessions, but the governor refused. Kerala is only one, okay? Yes, you are smiling, but Kerala is only one of those. Rajasthan also faced the same issue. So, governor has some powers, and regarding who can summon a session of the state legislature, governor, chief minister or both? Only governor. At the central level, only the president, but on the aid and advice of the chief minister. But when the, not chief minister, council of ministers, yes, cabinet. But Kerala governor and Rajasthan governor, even after the cabinet, state cabinet said please call the session, they refused. In Andhra also. Why? Not in Andhra. So 2 states very much in news. Why? Because they were calling the session for criticizing the central government. So governor being central government's, yes, he is appointed and he is also the agent of central government. They were initially reluctant, respective governors, and it led to a lot of debates. Can he refuse to call when, because they are elected by people, and this person is not elected by people. He is only the nominal head of the state executive. So we have to see. Then also role of LG. Some lieutenant governors are like, they will behave like they are the real, yes, leader of the people. So it has led to, even very rarely LG get transferred, and that also has happened. In Delhi, earlier that used to be the major place where this debate goes on. Now, judiciary and tribunals, nothing very important, but since Swamiji has passed away, we have to just, yes, as a tribute also, we will cover this in class. Once again, basic structure, already we studied for PCM batch, but yeah, for our friends who are not in class, yeah, we will cover basic structure, simply what it is and what was case 1. They will not ask about cases. Okay, UPSC usually, that is for legal service exam, other exams. But definitely basic structure doctrine, and especially that particular, which all provision come under basic structure, briefly we will see, and which year and all, basics we have to know. So look at the legacy of this person. He just passed away, and newspapers are like key petitioner in case that led to basic structure doctrine. That is a legacy. Anyway, then Supreme Court last year during COVID, that lockdown, yes, it declared that daughters also have equal right to inherit property, and this led to a lot of debates again. Parsi community also, yeah, some communities always denied this equal rights, but in some communities slowly they understood, yes, daughters are equal to sons. But Supreme Court now said, irrespective of your religion, this is going to be. Similarly, Supreme Court recently said, right to property is a human right. Once in a while Supreme Court will say something, and for UPSC aspirants, we have to remember what it is saying. We know that it is a legal right. Under article, right now, 300A. Okay, it was inserted by 44th Amendment Act, because 44th Amendment Act deleted it from part 3, the fundamental rights, and it inserted as a separate. Now, Supreme Court in another case, it called itself as the watchful guard of fundamental rights. No? This we know already, and they sometimes ask, which among the following is the custodian of constitution? They have asked. Which among the following is the guardian of fundamental rights? They can ask. So like that conceptual based question they will ask, because especially when Supreme Court recently refused to admit writ petitions. Have you read about that journalist case we discussed? Supreme Court said, first you go to High Court, then you, if they are not hearing, then you come to me. Even though that is as per constitution, Supreme Court can refuse to hear writ petition, but it started, it led to a lot of debates regarding who is the real guardian of fundamental rights. Why are they saying, don't come to us like that? Now, Supreme Court recently, again related to reservation, Supreme Court said in another verdict that differentially abled persons, Divyang, they deserve same benefits as scheduled caste and scheduled tribe quota, because they already are discriminated against. Now, we will have to see the details of those judgments. So, landmark judgments, they always ask a question, especially if they are related to some rights. So, that is why I covered only those judgments that are related to some rights, property right, here another, we will cover these things. Another important thing, National Green Tribunal, a quasi-judicial body, it is now into the 11th year, means 10th birthday has been celebrated. So, when 10th birthday is celebrated, so many people joined the party, wrote articles in The Hindu, and for our burden, maybe they will ask in mains also. But before that, basics we should know for prelims, we will cover, don't worry. EWS quota, now it has been, it is pending in front of the Supreme Court, a constitution bench. What is constitution bench? Minimum 5 judges will be hearing that case. Usually Supreme Court quorum is 3 judges, they will hear and they will give a verdict. But now EWS quota has been challenged on all those grounds that we discussed in class. We said that it is against Indira Sawhney case, yes or no? That 50% cap has been breached and those things are there. Also, only based on economic criteria, Supreme Court in 1992 said we cannot give reservation. So that on those grounds it is challenged. Let's see. But Indira Sawhney, remember, it was given by a 9 judge bench. So let's see what is going to. Maybe they will refer it to a higher bench. So these are interesting developments going on. About removal of High Court judges also, some news items were there. So let's see the procedure simply. They will not ask much beyond that. Similarly, contempt of court. Yes, so many funny instances related to this. Contempt of. Now Supreme Court itself is feeling that using fundamental right, nobody can criticize me, because I am the protector of fundamental rights. And suddenly when somebody, a lawyer, I want who, I will not name, okay, a lawyer criticized the Supreme Court that something is not right in the Supreme Court. They said, yes, he will be arrested and punished, and because under contempt of court, they have the powers. They asked him to apologize, he did not apologize. They asked him to pay a fine, he paid fine, 1 rupee. Yeah. So we know the story is going on. What is important for us is which constitutional provision and what punishment can be given, and there is this principle we have to study. This is related to contempt of court only. Also alimony, not very important. Alimony means this after marriage, after divorce, yes, how to give support, or does wife or after divorce, partner, does she have the right to get some support from the husband and all? That was also sometimes. No, not all are important. But what is very important for this year's prelims again is, there are some articles. First one, Article 32. They will not ask what Article 32 is, but they will ask about the heart and soul or something related to. Yeah, we will cover all those things, don't worry. So, we very well know what Article 32 is. It is to protect fundamental rights of individuals. Means, individuals can go to the Supreme Court directly to get protection. Similarly, there is another article, it was in news that Supreme Court can sometimes it can step into the scene in a particular situation to provide justice, to provide complete justice it is called. What is the context and all we will see. Some other matters related to judiciary like e-hearing, plea bargaining, bail was recently declared as a right by the Supreme Court. Bail, bail jamyam is a right now, anticipatory bail. This was there for last year's prelims and mains, but somehow they did not ask. So we will only skip, we will know the important things and we will skip the rest of the details. But this is a tribunal and it was in news related to your profession. Yes, NCLAT. This is National Company Law Tribunal, right? Then Lok Adalat, every year we study for prelims, they don't ask usually. This year also we will study because always there is a chance. Lok Adalat is for giving justice at the grassroots level. You have to know the purpose, main thing, the rest you can easily answer. So don't worry. Then, union territories, whether they have the right to have high court, this and that, so many things. NALSA also, every year they will, because DPSP talks about equal justice for the poor. Yeah. Yes, legal aid, free legal aid for the poor and needy. NALSA was established and NALSA was recently in news. Similarly, constitutional bodies. This is our new CAG, GC Murmu, right? He was the LG of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, he resigned and he was appointed as the new Controller and Auditor General. So, that office, when a new person comes into office, obviously it is in news, we have to know the basics. Using a table only, we will cover all the constitutional bodies. Attorney General was in news. Who is Attorney General? A Malayali. Yes, Advocate K.K. Venugopal. He was so much in Supreme Court and in news recently because all those matters related to Prashant Bhushan case, Supreme Court will ask his opinion, being the AG. And very senior, he is above 80, I think 85 right now. So he knows, he has seen multiple Chief Justices, he has served or he has worked in Supreme. So his opinion is very valuable for the Supreme Court. He was in a court in between, the poor guy. His personal opinion, he has to represent the government also like that, lot of. Then NK Singh, Finance Commission was in news. 15th FC has submitted both reports. Yesterday we detailedly saw, but for our friends who are not there or CAP students, we will cover that again. State Election Commission, your AP, this guy, Ramesh sir, okay? N. Ramesh Kumar, who is the State Election Commissioner of AP, he wanted to conduct Panchayat elections because 73rd Amendment Act, after that, every 5th year, before expiry of 5th year only, regular elections for that, elections were to be conducted. So, he wants to go ahead. He said Kerala has conducted, then we should also, because term is going to end. But state government is saying, no, COVID is there, we cannot allow election now. So, he took a very brave stand and finally, that went to the Supreme Court. And even they tried to remove him. He went to the Supreme Court, he came back to that post. So, senior IAS officer. What is the power of State Election Commission? Usually we don't read much about that. So, we have to study that in class. Similarly, statutory bodies, so many, including our NCW, it keeps on coming in news. Even after mains, if you see, it kept on coming in news due to various cases and comments. NHRC was in news very much. We have to study. Some changes are being made to NHRC also, they are trying to do that. Central Vigilance Commission, another statutory body we have to see. Concepts related to constitution, just like new fundamental right or maybe some schedules in news, okay. Tulu language, people who speak Tulu, they want Tulu to be included in the 8th schedule. It is not part of the 8th schedule now. Similarly, 10th schedule, what is 10th schedule? Anti-defection law, it was in news. Right to work, Article 32, 3 language formula, yes, and vertical and, yes. Have you heard of this term, vertical and horizontal reservation? Yes, within the, particular group, how the reservation can be given, we have to study that also. Then about elections, have you heard of this particular word, star campaigner? Yes, lot of times it came in news. Maybe they can ask about little details also. Model Code of Conduct and the very Representation of People's Act 1951. We will have to see the basic details then. PM is talking about now and then. Yes, one election, one nation, one election also. Now one more thing, one nation, one voter ID. Okay. Some of our friends, one of my friends has ID in Delhi also, in his native place also, and somewhere else also, in Bombay also, I think. Thrice he registered as vote. All three states whenever there is election, he can vote. That is the present situation. But yeah, postal ballot for NRIs. What is postal ballot? This and that, everything. They will don't ask about NRIs. They will ask who has the right to vote by postal ballot right now. Because in USA also it was in so much in news. So funny thing, we have to know even if they don't ask. Delimitation Commission. We expect a question this year. It is very much in news. Similarly, two regulatory bodies. Once they asked about this body, nobody had heard of this. It was in news and it is again in news recently. Why and all context you will understand when we study. TRAI, Telecom Regulatory. Have you heard of this Gram Swaraj portal? Yes, recently it was launched. So we need to know. Similarly, Bru refugees. Which state they belong to or they are related to? Mizoram and Tripura. Tripura and Mizoram, they related to these two states. They always come in news. Bru refugees. Bru. Okay. Naga Accord. So many news items related to Naga Accord recently, and some details were now it is in public. What was the accord about? What did the central government agree to give, and what was the Nagas agreed? What did they agree to? Like that. Then some PSC type news were also there. I just mentioned it because UK, Uttarakhand got a new capital. Gorasain. It is a summer capital. Some states have summer and winter capital because of the some Himalayan states. AP now wants to have 3 capitals. One is not enough. Okay, you are not responsible, I know. But whoever is responsible. Then India Justice Report came. India did not. In that report, so many details are there. That details are not important, but who publishes? Similarly, Rule of Law Index also. So these are the topics, but some topics are more important than others. Okay. Now, based on that, last year also we did this exercise, and one or two questions came. For example, Rajya Sabha. There was a question in 2020 prelims about Rajya Sabha, because that year somehow we figured out Rajya Sabha was so much in news, and even in mains they asked. That is the funniest part. So both in prelims and powers of Rajya Sabha equal with Lok Sabha, how they are useful in mains they asked like that. So this is the 75th year of Constituent Assembly, and everything about the Constituent Assembly, how it came about, what were the sources and what were the important committees, we have to revise and know. We cannot expect UPSC to ask in a particular way only. Sometimes they can ask very conventional sort of factual sort of questions also. So who was the chairperson of which committee, they can sometimes ask. So everything related to the making of our constitution we have to study thoroughly. Cabinet mission plan, obviously you will read in history also. So I will be putting more and more questions about history of our constitution making. Don't worry, that is how you solve. I know many of us have problems, right, with that area, like we make mistakes. But when we do more practice question, it will be fine. Similarly, Constituent Assembly, something we did not discuss in the class, mains class, is that it not only made constitution, but it was also the parliament, first parliament of India. It also adopted our national flag, also national anthem. It was the authority that elected our first president also, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Yes or no? So it did so many things, but we did not mention because in books, other sources, you will easily find that. So we have to see the everything about one revision we will do in the CAP class. Also related to federalism, so many topics we covered in class, but 15th Finance Commission report has been submitted. We have to see basic things. For example, have they increased the share of states or decreased? Basic things. Have they abolished all grants, or did they recommend some type of, we have seen, but we will have a quick revision. Similarly, can Parliament make laws in state subject? What are the 5 conditions? Haven't we revised? Or haven't we covered that in the class? Yes. But yeah, for it will be a revision. Similarly, 7th schedule itself was in news. So we have to do more questions in the CAP class. One thing we are going to do is that we will be solving some questions just like apart from our daily practice. So that will be very helpful. Previous year questions as well as model questions. Then Article 131, what will happen when states oppose central laws? We already know some details, Article 365 and all, but for others also we will talk. Then powers of lieutenant, these are all federalism related matters. Then CAA we have to cover, we have already covered, but updates we will cover. Then 42nd Amendment Act, it was in news. Why? 45 years have completed, and recently after Keshavananda Bharati passed away, again because 42nd Amendment Act was an answer of the Parliament to Keshavananda Bharati judgment and the basic structure doctrine. So we need to relate and major features of the 42nd Act they will not ask like that, but the procedure for amending constitution they can ask. That is why again in our daily practice I will be putting more questions about that. Can state initiate? Maybe sometimes you will feel that these are stupid statements again and again we are doing, because still I see some people are making mistakes. I hope maybe our online students, but because they haven't reached that part yet. Anyway, they will also be catching up soon. So we will be doing such. So procedure for amendment, everything is very, very important. Now, Office of Governor, every year it creates a lot of problem for UPSC aspirants. Some governor will do something, that will be news, controversy will be there. Let's see, everything about governor's office we have to know. Similarly, of higher priorities, NGT and elections, some terminologies and some provisions, these things are very important for us, and obviously RTI related. These are trending news items for us. So don't worry, the same thing only, and everything about the RTI Act as well as CIC we have to, Central Information Commission we have to study.